I'm a tall dude, man. I gotta keep sitting up straight too, you know. I'd be messing up my lower back.
Yeah, they make those chairs too. That got that lower lumbar lump.
Oh, that support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And when I'm driving, I make sure I have that little circular pillow behind me, and because my truck, I don't have the option to push a button to inflate the lower lumbar support mechanism that inflates.
Right.
Not like the wife's car. It's comfortable. You could tailor it to your body. So I went and got one of those pillows, not stick it back there behind. I could drive all day because it forces my lower lumbar to have that nice little curve to it.
Just speaking about it, I'm trying to sit straight.
Yeah.
The more you speak, the more I'm like, I'm not straight enough.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it you that said great grammar, good posture?
Right.
Yeah. You might have to coin that phrase or something. I don't know. It's probably already out there.
Could be.
Yeah.
I keep telling you, man, if you think about something, somebody else is thinking the same thing you're thinking. It's a shared information highway.
Yeah. A lot of that happens. Because I think there's only so much that is not explored within like the conscious mind
Right.
that someone else hasn't thought about. Like that last podcast, we thought surely there was no monkey out there racing a horse.
Right.
We conclude the podcast and we instantly Google, and what do we see?
A monkey on a horse.
You know?
How about Bill being harassed by well, maybe not harassed, but in his mind, he thought the only dangerous thing in Kenya was the monkeys.
Right.
No lions, no nothing, just,
Yeah.
you know?
Synchronicity in that.
Right.
Right when he said he had to watch out for the monkeys, I knew then.
Right.
I knew that there was going to be some shit involved.
Yes.
Not necessarily throwing, but just because the monkey,
Right.
it's just something about that damn creature, man.
I know y'all seen the synchronicity in that. You had to have.
I don't know.
Yeah. I get this reoccurring dream. And it only happened 3 times in a row. And it always starts with me walking out my front door.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe like 6 steps I'm on to the lawn, the front lawn. And for some reason, you know, I just keep paying attention to the grass. I don't look anywhere else but the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, this mound just starts to come up out of the grass. I mean, it's not a vivid dream. I perceive it to be a regular dream. And this mound gets larger and larger and larger, and it comes up. And then it's about eye level. And then it starts to shed all of the grass and soil, but it never completely, you know, I don't even know how to explain it. When it starts to shed all the grass and the soil, it almost leaves this woman-type figure left standing once it's all fallen to the ground. And you can make out like hair, you know? And this thing never talks. You don't see really any eyes, but it looks like a woman figure. And it turns from me and it walks away. It crosses the gravel road. And then as it's walking away, it goes right back into the ground again. But it goes back into the ground like water, like, you know, it moves like water. And then there's no disturbance in the ground. And I wake up.
At the same point?
At the same point.
Every time.
And it happened 3 days in a row.
Is the woman is it just a silhouette, or is it like a full definition of a woman?
No, like you can barely make it out, but everything inside of me says, oh, this is a woman.
Yeah. Does it like have the contours?
Yeah, it has the contours, but it's still shaped as if it was still soil and earth, you know? But it looks like a woman. I'm telling you, whatever is in me says it's a woman figure.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that popped in my head. And I've seen this 3 nights in a row. and I haven't had it since.
Consecutively?
That's what made it stand out to me.
Right.
And there was nothing that really changed in the dream. It was just, you know, I can't remember the time of day, but man, maybe there was no conception of day and night. I never even once thought about it, you know, but it just rises out of the ground, or she rises out of the ground. And it's the weirdest thing because you're looking at dirt fall off this growing mound at the same time, and one is completely, like, I don't want to say completely done, but when it's at its final form, it looks like a woman figure, like the grass turned into dirty grass hair, you know? And it's a really clean look about it too.
That's kind of like, I'm getting like a Mother Earth vibe.
And that's what I was thinking that at first, like, man, what is this?
Right.
You know?
It's nothing fearful, right? You're just like.
No, totally not afraid of it.
Yeah.
Almost like when every time it walked away and went back into the ground, like it was saying, like, follow me or something, or I don't know.
Yeah. When was the last time you had that dream?
So it might have been like 3 days ago.
Yeah. Maybe write something down, like plant it in your subconscious and say, follow her.
I might use this podcast too as like a diary.
Right.
If I have one in the morning, we'll hurry up and record a show so I can't forget it, you know.
Yeah. See where it goes.
See where it goes.
It might be some enlightening thing.
Right.
Especially if you get that sense that she wants you to follow her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not every dream, but just something like that, or my ear ringing episode. Like, maybe we should make a video diary.
Yeah, some vlogs about that or something.
As soon as I have an experience, get on and be like, yo, this is what happened.
Yeah. I had
maybe women are Mother Nature. I don't want to jump subject. I know you were going to say something.
No, but that's
something to think about. Yeah. Like, I look at women, all women on this planet.
Yeah, a nurturing, you know, loving entity. Yeah. Women just have that thing about them. Where they express a lot of emotion and love.
And they keep us balanced. They keep us from, literally, when I think about it, if I'm thinking about that dream, it's like I could picture all women as Mother Nature in its own. I mean, look at the incredible things they can do.
Yeah.
And without them, I think, man, we obliterate ourselves.
I think they are the antidote to the male ego.
Right. Or not even to the male everything.
Yeah, because when I get like, I'll have an idea and I want to just go with it. Just go with the idea. Just go with the dream. My wife, she'll be like, yeah, that's great and all. And I respect it. But we can't do that. I need to bring your ass down to earth. Let's look at it from this point. And I'll go, oh, yeah. I got a little crazy little head of myself. And she, you know.
I got to take steps here.
Right.
Right.
But then I also get her out of her comfort zone and make her take these leaps of faith.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like a balance.
So do you make her, or do you?
I don't make her.
You guide her into your,
because she is not so apt to do not outlandish things, but like spontaneity.
Right.
She's not that like everything has to be planned. It has to be this and that and that. So she can plan for it. She likes to plan things. Me, I'm spontaneous. Let's just go out and let's just see what the frick happens with the universe. Let's just see what the universe provides for us.
Or test it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I want this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out and do it.
Yeah. I try to free up her mind a little bit, and not everything can be planned. But she also tells me, you know, some things have to be planned. You just can't free willy-nilly every damn thing.
I think that's the importance of women. They keep it in perspective for us.
Yeah.
And they have the means to show just a crazy amount of love.
Yeah.
Like your mother, you know, she just loves you so much. And it's that love that keeps us from going off to the deep end on life, you know?
And a lot of times we ask people that question, who taught you how to love? It's always the mother figure. And I would like to believe, not just because she gave birth to you, but she's the first one that imprints you.
Right.
You know, she's the first one that puts that on you. You know, it's a miraculous thing.
Right. Yeah, it's a crazy machine that the gods have built.
Yeah.
this loving thing that can recreate us,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
And it has to be that way, or man is doomed.
Yeah. Yeah. And back to your dream, I had a dream. It wasn't a dream. It was an episode. The normal ear ringing, the vibrations. I go through the whole scenario, and I'm in it, and my eyes are closed, and then all of a sudden, I just see an image of myself, and what I would like to think it was a mirror, but it wasn't. It was me. I was just looking at myself, and I had this like smirk. Like, I don't want to say it was a funny smirk. It was just like this smirk, like you're taking yourself too serious, kind of a smirk.
Right.
And I thought, why am I looking at myself in the mirror? And then I told myself, wait a minute. For whatever reason, I was just like, well, let me change my facial expression if this is a mirror. And so I smiled even brighter, like baring teeth. And the reflection, or me, didn't. It still kept that smirk. And I was startled by it. I was just like, wait a minute. Why am I not moving my face? Because that's how real I looked.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I was like a younger version of me, a lot more more vibrant in detail. And it just startled me. And I was like expecting it to like jump at me or do something crazy. And I'm kind of freaking out. And it doesn't freak out. It just kept the smile, that smirk. And then it slowly, I don't even know how to separate the both, but it slowly changed its appearance from a smile to a concerned look, like, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting like that?
Right.
And I thought, oh man, this is crazy. And so as I'm thinking this, and I'm kind of freaking out, and it's changing its expression. It's kind of leaving my sight as I'm lying on my side.
Mm-hmm.
It's like leaving, like the whole picture or whatever, it's going off to my left. And I like sort of freaked out, like as if to where to go behind me or something like that. And I like snapped out of it. But I was like, man, that was wild.
Like what?
That was crazy.
So it started off mimicking you at first.
No, it did no mimicking.
Oh.
I just was in this.
You was just looking at yourself.
My spiritual eyes opened up,
Right.
and I'm in this void looking at myself.
Right.
And I just had that facial expression.
That's just
on me.
wild.
And it just startled me because I was like, it's not me, obviously. Or if it is me, it's not doing what I want it to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it left me disturbed. Like, it's kind of frightening, but yet fascinating all in one.
I mean, is it me, or is our dreams becoming weirder and weirder?
Yeah, they're a lot more lucid.
Because that significant one I remember is when we were like 9, 10,
Yeah.
and we had that one with our older brother dying across the street
Right.
at a park.
Right.
That's when I knew I was like, oh, I could share an experience with this dude that's on a whole nother level.
Yeah.
But now it seems like the dreams are becoming more and more
Intense.
right.
Yeah. And I picked up on them more so ever since I first started having these episodes or being in the in-between.
Right.
It's like it opened up a part of your subconscious or memory bank and said you can do a lot more and receive a lot more than what you normally used to.
Right.
And it's gotten weird. Some nights I don't even feel like I even, got any rest. So it's like, damn, what's up with that? So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Dreams I don't know if they're like a part of the subconscious, just like putting shit together in random order. And the only way for us to sleep is just like to shuffle through some memories. And the subconscious like just grabs a collage of things and just,
Right.
which would explain all the randomness, because like dreams really don't make sense. You're just like from one point to another, to a different instance to another.
Right.
So
it seems like if you're conscious enough, you can put yourself in this state where you can actually achieve some of those visions in life,
Yeah. whatever the brain does. While you know, it's funny how if I fall asleep and like the TV is on or something, like the first thing that goes away is the hearing for me, and then slowly I drift off.
Right.
And the brain can say, let's shut all these things, not shut them down, but let's let them go
Sleep mode.
Yeah, sleep mode. Let's go into dormant, and then it's like the subconscious just takes over.
Right.
I wonder if you had full control of your subconscious, could you live like a semi real life while you sleep?
Right.
8 hours of the dream world, and then your other 10 or 12 hours of the quote unquote real world. But I mean, at that point, define real.
Right.
If your brain can produce something in a dream, like, 'cause I feel like at times I can feel, smell, taste. We can see color, have conversations. What about that is not real?
Right.
I mean, that's all we have to go by in the waking world, right? We have these smell, feel, touch, taste. But I feel like I can do that in a dream too. Yeah, it's a lot more lucid. I have no sort of control over it.
Mm-hmm.
But what's to say it's not real?
I mean, say our dreams are controlled by an entity, which may be the spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this entity wants to get in this body, do the experiment or experience, I keep saying experiment, the experience with the body. And then it has to say to itself, okay, I just need a break for 8 hours from this world. Let me go back to the real world where I can be and do anything and kind of get lost and take a break from that.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm done taking a break from the real, behaviors of this consciousness, all right, I'm ready to go back into this body again and experience it.
Which would explain how when you wake up, all the stress comes back,
Right.
all the the self-doubt or the
Right.
thoughts and all this.
It's a coping mechanism.
Yeah, at least it gives us a temporary moment, so we don't have to always live stressed out or have these concerns. We are able to give ourselves a break, that's a great thing right there.
Maybe dreaming is what carry us through.
Yeah,
Maybe dreaming is a glimpse of the other side, and we know it's there, but
yeah.
of
all the possibilities
Right.
and different.
we have to experience the duality of things.
Yeah, you think some of our dreams are like different lives of like the parallel universe lives where we're able to see what outcomes or what we're doing
Right.
in this particular.
Or maybe other people's outcomes. I mean, our minds, I believe, are entangled with each other on a quantum level.
Mhm.
So why wouldn't we be experiencing someone else's life?
Yeah, and vice versa.
Right. That just a glimpse, just 3 seconds.
Right. And then how you see other people in your dreams.
Right.
I wonder if that's us going about our day and the mind is constantly photo snapping these people that we pass on a daily.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's just throwing it in the subconscious.
Right.
Going, this will be great material. I can use this face.
Right.
And it stores all
It's an
this.
editor.
Yeah,
Your subconscious is an editor.
it is. And it stores all this information that we look at that we don't keep into our long-term memory.
Right.
And then, but what part of the mind can do that? That can just say, let's turn it into a movie this night.
It's a powerful thing.
Yeah.
It just becomes director, producer. And it's funny, there's no music. There's no one scoring this dream,
There's really not. If you think of, I mean, I hear music in my dreams sometimes,
Yeah.
but yeah, there's really like nothing to say, like
You could focus in on.
yeah.
I mean, just think how deep it is. The dream world, we actually shared a dream, a vision together. So it's hard for me not to believe our minds aren't connected.
Yeah, like they're not separated at
They're
all.
not.
At
But they're
least
and it's
for
not
us.
it's but not just us. I think we're attached to everybody that even if you only spend a couple of seconds with this individual or you bump shoulders, that's enough to cause interference.
Yeah.
And what if you dream whoever you see and come in contact with, you pick up just a hint of their life in your dream. you know, just a hint.
I wonder if someone's ever dreamt about somebody beforehand, prior to meeting them,
Right.
and met that person.
Well,
Like the exact look.
I'm telling you, my wife had a dream like that before she met me, but I don't think she had a exact look. I'll let her tell a story whenever we get her on here. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, we might do
1,000.
that.
Wow. Yeah, I like that.
It's a huge jump.
Yeah, that's a
But
good number.
if we get to 1,000 subscribers, we'll do a special show and we'll sit the editor,
yeah,
and the missus down on the couch.
yeah, pick her brain.
And she has a lot of things going on with
Yeah,
the paranormal
yeah,
ever since she was little.
yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Right.
But again, I don't know why. I guess if we can figure out that we're dreaming, like we have, like everybody throughout the eons of human civilization, we all learned that we dream, right? But you imagine telling that person when you're like I don't know if it's like back in the day, but you tell that person, hey man, I had the weirdest, like what would you say? I had the weirdest visions or
Right.
illusions during the course of sleep that we're going to go meet this person. He's gonna give us like the keys to this and that.
Right.
And people, yeah, that's crazy. That can't happen. And it happens. You know what I mean? Like dreams can give you that precog.
Right.
And then you later meet that person or do that thing that I would like to believe that that's out there.
I'm saying back in the day, like if you look at Indians and
Yeah.
tribal, people back in the day, just
Yeah.
indigenous to their jungle environment or whatever,
Yeah.
I'm sure they had visions that were so strong, probably like our ear ringing,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, I had a vision, and he became the witch doctor, you
Right.
know, or he became the elderman that has all of the visions, the oracle of the tribe.
Right.
And these were probably strong dreams. On the other hand, they probably were strong drugs too. But
Well, ayahuasca, I'm
right.
sure.
Or peyote or something.
Yeah,
I'm sure
whatever.
they knew how to manipulate plants like that.
Yeah.
But I just think dreams probably are responsible for more things than we can think of.
Yeah. I kind of want to start writing, like you said, a diary.
Right.
I kind of wonder if I had kept a diary.
Would it all added up to
Yeah.
this right here?
Would there be some clues that'll lead
You could
me?
pull and say, hey, this added up.
Yeah. But see, yeah, and that would help you remember. I just wish that there was a way to capture some of the footage
Right.
and store it and go back and look at it, like these faces,
Right.
these situations. Because at one point I had dreams where I was in like a car going over a bridge, and for whatever reason, the car always would fall off the bridge and not wake up. And I would not have them consecutively like you did, but
Right.
I would know the dream. I would say, oh, I've had this dream.
Right. It's familiar.
Yeah, it's very familiar. I know the outcome to it.
Right.
So I wonder if that was like a different path where I was in a car accident or something, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a scarring imprint on my soul because that was one of the lives that I lived or like currently living.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had a dream when we lived in Carson, and we were in about, I think, the 6th grade going into the 7th grade. We might have been in the 7th grade. It's funny I can remember that exact because of how the dream was so vivid.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a simple dream. I was in outer space and I saw Earth. And I don't know, man, we're probably like 13. I have no idea how old we were, but I know we were living in Carson, right? And all you can see is space. I couldn't make out any other planets, no moon, no nothing. And I was just sitting there watching Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Young age, man, not into any of this stuff. So I had nothing on me mentally about it. And then I remember saying a few words when I saw that. I said, oh, that's what this was.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me until now.
Yeah,
And I always wonder why I said that and why did I see Earth? You know, I wasn't really into it. I don't know if I was even watching any movies regarding how Earth would look.
No history on it
Right.
at all. Yeah.
And from the view I had from it and what I had commented was like crazy at that age, so young, and having to say, oh, this is what that was about.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I had no other words. And when I woke up, I remember, and it was like when I said it, I knew the answer, but when I woke up, I forgot it. And I tried for years to try to remember what was what all about, you know?
Yeah. The brain, like, it expunges everything when you, like, when I'm in a dream, I'm like, I'm going to hold on to this.
Right.
I want to wake up and I'm going to remember it. But when you wake up, it's just like, it was so far of a separation.
Right.
And the brain is like, you can't remember that. That's not real. Or I don't want you to remember that.
Right.
For whatever reason. You just pick out the fine little details, but you can't ever really explain the way you fully lived out the dream. But you're able to come back with at least something. You know? Yeah, we got to start jotting this down.
Yeah, we should probably do a video diary, a personal diary.
Yeah.
You know?
That way they can help us to make sense of it too.
It could be somebody listening going, oh, I've kind of experienced that.
Yeah. How many of you guys out there have a dream diary? I'm curious with that bad boy.
Right.
I don't think I really, every time I wake up, I find myself, I don't, it's not that I don't want to make the time. I don't feel like doing it.
Right. Because you live with it,
Yeah.
you know? But I do think it'd be cool because we don't always get the ringing experience, you know? So any chance we can document it, it would probably be, you know, of great importance.
Yeah.
Because I could tie all of the major ones, like I'll never forget them, as if I lived it.
Right.
You know, dreams I could forget all day long, but when my ears ring and I get a true experience from it, I never forget it.
Right. Yeah.
You can never explain it, but I'll never forget it.
Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people go out or have those similar experiences. But real quick, one of my boys that watched the podcast, he was like, could y'all just do me a favor and just ask or talk about this one little issue that grinds his gears?
Uh-oh.
And it grinds his gears. I can tell.
It's a gear grinder.
Yeah. He wants to know, why did we make money for ourselves? Why do we have currency? And before we start, if you guys have any topics or questions or anything that's running around rampant in your mind that you want us to go in on, we probably don't have a idea of what the hell it is we're talking about, but if you want to hear us go in on it, shoot it in the comment and we'll go in on it. But this one's for Jared.
Yeah.
He just wants to know, why do we have...
And we don't like to research.
Yeah.
We just like to shoot from the hip.
Yeah, shoot the shit. He wants to know, why do we have currency? Why do we make money for ourselves? What do you think? Why do we do this to ourselves?
Wise.
All the whys.
All the whys. I don't know, man. It's maybe money gives people a drive to do better.
Yeah.
Maybe money is recognition.
Status.
I mean, maybe money is a means of a dictatorship, control,
Yeah.
ego. Why we need it, I have no clue.
Yeah. Could you know, I like to believe the smartest person in the world, this is just my opinion, is the dude that said, you know what I'm going to do?
I'm going to save it all.
No.
What?
Hear me out.
All right.
This dude, let's just say he's a great influencer.
Right.
And he's walking along the shore, just the coastline, random coastline. And he sees a gold rock. And he goes, weird. That gold rock is different from the other little pebbles.
Right.
I think if I can convince enough people that this gold rock is worth more than their soul and anything else on this planet, I'm going to sell it over him and I'm going to call it money.
Ooh.
And so he gets the gold rock. He finds more of them. He's like, look here.
Yeah.
This thing we'll call currency.
Right.
It means a lot It's worth more than you'll die, you'll fight over
Yeah.
it just to get your hands on it.
Yeah.
And better yet,
You're going to murder somebody too.
yeah, better yet, I'm going to make cousins of this gold rock. I'm going to go chop down a tree and I'm going to imprint some sort of illustration on it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to call it money, the dollar bill.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to spread it around. And we're all going to, use this as a status to pay for commodities and goods. And
if you want to feel important over somebody, by golly, get yourself a lot of it.
Yeah, have a bunch of it.
Right.
And then we'll just we'll see where it goes from here. But this is where I want this idea to go. And you fast forward to now. I mean, you think about it. Somebody formulated these ideas, you know, kings and queens or whoever. And then look what we do to ourselves over it.
It's just crazy.
It's just like gold is just a rock or a coin is just a metal, but we have put it in our heads to say this means a whole lot.
So that's witchcraft.
Well, it's the power of deception.
Right. It's witchcraft.
He told you that this dirt boulder, that river pebble
is worth a man's life.
No, it's worth nothing. But the gold one is worth a man's life.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that, man. We go around passing around money, which is slowly starting to disappear. Now they give you a little plastic device that you put it in and out of shit. Tells you how you know what I'm saying?
Right. How much you're worth.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah. Money tells you how much you're worth.
And then and look at us.
Right.
Everybody's
we believe. We just believe it.
Just believe in it.
It's witchcraft.
It's the almighty dollar.
Financial means it's a ego. I mean, it doesn't have to have a soul per se, or a body, but financial means is an ego in itself.
Yeah.
Total ego.
The total idea of...
And you want to buy into him.
Yeah, you want to buy into that idea.
Yeah, you want to pray to this guy.
Yeah.
He's got it all figured out.
You'll do anything for it.
Right. And I don't know how we can't break the witchcraft of it.
It's very hard because it's ingrained into us
because we see it.
Yeah.
It's like seeing danger come to you. You're like, well, if I don't move, I'm toast.
Right.
Yeah. If I don't get involved with this scam,
Yeah, because it's kind of, well, you have a choice.
You do.
But because we built everything around it, your choice is like you can go live on the street and you can, either find your way for food like through trash cans or panhandling or however.
Right.
You still have a choice to live outside of the money, but it's going to be very hard.
And very unpleasant.
Very unpleasant. So we've already built it to where you have to play the game.
I don't know why we need it, because someone hasn't come along with a better idea.
Well, you don't need a better idea. What if you just told everyone, hey, no more currency. Do what you normally do as far as work. And everything that you do will just be for the greater of the... Remember, we touched on this last time.
We did. But
it would be the greater of civilization.
Okay, but what about those who want to invent and who want to create and do more?
Then
what kind of incentive does that give them to want to do more?
But see, you're still thinking with the mindset of the money issue.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because it's ingrained in you. You wouldn't see right now. You are like this. This is your train of thought,
You're right.
and it's everybody's train of thought. Well, if I built this thing that it's free energy, what do I get for it?
Right. Ego steps in.
You know what I'm saying?
Instead of looking at it as the benefit of mankind.
There you go. So it's kind of hard to step out of that what's already been imprinted.
Right.
We do it to ourselves, man. So it'll be hard to let the concept go because somebody's going to always feel like he has more than that person.
Right.
But if everybody had the common things that we all needed, where no one felt left out, I think it'd be a better society. It's just our priorities are all screwed up.
Right. Yeah, we're not doing this whole living process for the betterment of man.
No.
We're doing it manipulated into things that we have no control over.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me for the most part.
Well, and also you can look at money too as like, I'm glad you said that, because you can also look at money being invented as a means of distraction. So whoever is in most control of it, they can use it for nefarious purposes. Like, let's make them chase money and distract them from their real lives and
Right.
true potential.
Right.
You know, let's try to control the way they think, and we can use it by money.
And let's throw a lot of distractions in there.
Yeah, all the
Video games,
commercials,
and TV, and phones. If they start using their minds and finding out that they have powers and potentials that they can't even fathom,
right?
Yeah, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
It might be a little bit of that going on, you know. But yeah, money is it's a
status.
It could be a good thing and a bad thing.
But see, back in, you know, I like to call them the caveman days.
Right.
Money wasn't a thing. It was, I would like to believe, hey, I have harvested extra pelts.
Right.
I will trade you this pelt to keep you warm in the winter in exchange for more food.
Right.
It was a bartering system.
It was a community.
It was a community.
Right.
It's not until we devise some more shit to divide ourselves.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know.
Yeah, it was a community, and it was probably ran efficient.
Yeah.
It was probably like a bunch of cavemen or something. Just, oh, if your mouth hurts right here, I know what to do.
Yeah.
He did it so many times. There's your dentist.
Yeah. I know the outcome of a dang on sore tooth.
Right.
We got to pull that thing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then your feet hurt, or you keep getting these bruises, and somebody stumbled on the plant. Fix that. He did it so many times. You got your podiatrist right there.
Yeah. He probably, you know, got some goods from the earth and made sandals.
Right.
It's like you a soft foot dude.
Yeah, you can't just be you know, Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble all over the place.
You can't. Let me make you some of these shoes, man.
Because you built different.
Yeah. Yeah. So Jared, I hope that answered your question as far as the finances.
Maybe we need to get back to just being a community.
Yeah. Bartering.
Right.
Cup of brown sugar. What do you need?
My friend knows how to build a home.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Can he build my friend a home? Absolutely.
Yeah. In exchange, I'll take care of his plumbing.
Right.
Because I'm good at plumbing.
Yeah. And my buddy's going to take care of your gardening and whatever else you need, because you're building my guy a home.
Yeah. Like wouldn't that just be enough?
Right. Hey, I noticed you have a car over there I really like. Oh, yeah, you want one?
Yeah.
I know how to make these things.
Yeah.
You know, if you eliminate things like greed and jealousy and lust, what are you left with?
Yeah. Just a good time, if you ask me.
Hell of a lot better society.
Yeah.
Because everybody can have the things the next man can have.
Right.
And water and food would be free because you have to live.
Yeah. Yeah. We charge ourselves for the necessities that preserve our lives. Like, how do we charge ourselves for food and water? Why do we have to pay for water when it's readily available?
I have no idea.
And I always said to myself, I was like, man, if they could, they probably charge us for the air we breathe. And I thought about it. I was like, damn, they do in a hospital setting. They charge you for oxygen, for pure oxygen.
Or all those years riding on the ambulance.
I was like,
we had to charge people for
oxygen. Why am I charging this dude for oxygen? He obviously needs this to live.
Right.
We've gone that far. We've gone so far, and one would say is we need to, every time a human being is hurt or comes across an illness or cancer, we have to pay money to get ourselves better.
Right.
What kind of evil shit is that?
Oh, be careful now.
Why?
You're starting to talk the business.
I'm just saying, I never knew that the human soul had a price. Right. I always thought and I get it because we're in the money situation, but if you're a doctor and you have the knowledge and the means to preserve a human from dying,
right?
You're telling me you won't help that human until you're paid?
Right.
Like, that's how out of touch we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, currency is not okay, so we're just reflecting on all of the negative things about it.
Right.
But if we did it in a right way, it wouldn't be so bad. But I guess there really wouldn't be any need for it because I think we probably would have advanced
Yeah.
into a type 1 species, you know?
Yeah, because you can say we can spend it in the right way. Like we can
Right.
donate it to the homeless or help people get out of, but ultimately what's putting them there,
Right,
you know what I mean, is the dang on finances.
right.
This money that we've conjure up for ourselves. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't do any good for anybody. Isn't the Vatican like one of the wealthiest little entities
Right.
on its own?
Right,
And yet they're starving children. Like, why does the Vatican have so much
Right.
money?
they're starving people around the Vatican.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is even a thing.
Yeah. I don't want to touch on it because I don't want to hurt nobody's
Right.
interest that's involved with the vet. But I'm just posing these things out there.
Right.
Like we have all
Well, it's all based on currency, and it's got us under control.
it does.
It's witchcraft, man. It's a spell. The spells has been casted upon us.
Yeah.
You will take your clothes off for $1 bill.
Yeah. Oh man. That's another one right there.
You know, you will sell your children
Yeah.
and put white things in your nose.
Jeez and Pete's.
Right.
Yeah, because money is apt to make you do things you
It-
wouldn't normally do.
You got to keep purchasing. You know, you
Yeah.
have to stay a consumer in
Yeah.
order for it to work. I have to sell something you can purchase.
How many
Look at our commercials on TV all day long. It's something you have to buy.
Yeah. How many
They're never selling wealth to you. They're not selling wealth to you.
they're really not. How many actors you think and actresses you think have like sold themselves because of money?
More than I would like to imagine. And it's a rough estimate.
Yeah. I mean, all that, like, so to get fame.
What are you selling?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Your soul, like
Yeah.
yourself, your essence to somebody to control and manipulate. And see, that's why I'm saying, like, when people were born onto this planet, we weren't born with a fair handshake.
Yeah. Well,
I'm all for being a free soul and not tying ourselves down to another man's ideation. Like, this is one life to live. You need to do it how you're going to do it. Be who you're going to be. Say whatever the hell you want to say. Because it's short, and I think you just really got to be you.
yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts,
Yeah.
you know? And maybe money should not be at the
Forefront.
right.
It's just a big distraction.
It's a border for a lot of things to happen.
It is. Damn, Jerry, you putting us in the rabbit hole.
You just took us there, man.
I can't even go see things like the pyramid because of financial status.
That and then some.
Yeah, and then what we've done to
Yeah.
ourselves to condition, like, oh, you go to Egypt, they're going to kill you,
Yeah.
or you're an American.
Yeah, I was going to say fear is controlling everybody right now.
You can't go anywhere because of the fear of other humans wanting to hurt you for political agendas that the higher ups have created for ourselves.
Right.
We didn't do this; they did this shit.
You imagine, like, man, we would be a whole different species if we were using more of our brain and less distraction.
Yeah. Well, I think that's
We would be beautiful people. I mean, we are already, for those of us that are awake and can see what's going on.
right.
You know, those of us that are completely had an ego death and now see the world as one. No colors, no categories.
Yeah.
Just see everybody and everything on this planet as one.
Yeah.
And look at it and go, we have to do better.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's not enough of us.
It's not.
And those of us that are awake, we are bound by the fears of standing out.
Right.
I can't totally go against the system. What if I lose my house? What if my friends are going to think this about me?
Right.
There's not enough of us to overcome it. What do I do? I'm stuck in this cog. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like the human chain right now is one big moving cog, and you have some teeth that like don't want to go with the rest of the gears because they're like, why are we constantly turning
Right.
and grinding? And you feel alone because you can look around and be like, well, who else is awake with me?
Right.
Why is everybody still going with this shit? We can make this place free and beautiful.
When I sit and listen to like Jeff Mara or 401 Files, you know, and you hear people's stories, it's like one of the most believable things to me is to go on these YouTube channels and hear these stories, because that is not how we were raised. And now I'm getting to hear all these fascinating things that are going on all around the world and all these experiences. You know, that seems more real to me than what I was taught in schools.
Yeah.
You know,
You're more apt to believe your fellow man in their stories versus
Right.
the shit that was fed to you.
right. And sure, some of them may be false,
Yeah.
but I happen to believe, you know, they're more real than what we think.
Yeah. Somebody asked me too, like with all these NDE stories, do you think some of these people are just lying? And I said, that's not the point. It doesn't matter if they're lying.
Right.
It doesn't matter. What are they lying about? A utopia or a place that's coming from love and understanding? I don't care if they're lying. They're putting out positive information.
That's how I look at it too.
You know what I mean? Even if it's
Right.
a lie. Maybe the lie for him is something that he needs to tell himself to make himself better.
Right.
And he needs others to appreciate him or understand him. And I'm fine with that. I'm not going to hold guilt on anybody because I'm not any better. You know, there's some shit about me that's not perfect, about all of us.
Right.
But even if they're lying, who cares? Even if they don't believe you, who cares? Let that person not believe, because that person is obviously in a situation where he's not ready for that.
Right.
You know, and that too is okay. Like you have the right to not believe in things and stuff like that, and not get tied into things. And that's just all where you're at that point in time. I think people that just like, this is going to be off subject, but I just think people that don't believe in NDEs or anything like outside of their norm, sometimes it's blessed because at least they're still able to have that human experience of just living the human life, not knowing shit. Don't want to know nothing. Nothing affects them.
Right.
You know? And they're all good people. When you see all the comments on like the Near Death podcast are out there, they're always genuinely good comments. And you have that one person who says something negative, but yet he's on that channel.
Right.
Looking. So something about that person is searching for something.
It's drawing them to it.
Yeah. So even that person that says there's nothing after this. Well, sir, even nothing has some substance know, to it. You're saying there's nothing. I'll be in the great infinite nothing. Well, you're still saying you will be in the great nothing. So even nothing
It's something.
is something. You can't totally banish anything.
Yeah.
You know, so those are just some of the things that I think about.
Yeah. I mean, it's I don't want to say it's thought provoking because everybody knows these things.
But not everybody. People watch.
I believe everybody knows these things.
I mean, some do, but they don't
It's
really
it's entered their mind in one way or another.
but they don't sit and deep dive and
No.
you know, they brush it and they go right back into the game plan
Right.
because it's so easy to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even you and I'll sit here and we'll have these conversations, but at the end of the day, we have to fall right back into the cog. There ain't nothing worse than being a woke person in a machine and still having to do the work of the machine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I think it is what it is, and then we just have to make the best of it.
Yeah.
Like what we're doing now, you know?
Yeah. and just share it with others so they know that they're not alone.
Right.
That other people out there think like them. And everybody's just trying to find their flipping way, man.
Yeah. I think that song we wrote, Stepping Stones,
Yeah.
is like a great rendition of what you just said.
Yeah. You're just trying to find your way.
Right.
No rights, no wrongs.
No rights, no wrongs.
But I don't know. We'll see what you guys think about this here podcast.
Yeah. Our music is still making headway. We should be shipping all these tracks off here in the next week or so.
Yeah.
All that's left is copyrights and rehearsal.
Yeah. But pretty soon you guys will get to experience it.
Yeah. We're debating on doing something live. Maybe we do something recorded. I don't know. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. Maybe we can put something on.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, but with that, like the channel, subscribe, ring the bell, and the Patreon is up as well. Feel free to donate to the Patreon. As he would say, 75 cents on the dollar.
I have no idea why I say that shit.
I don't know. It doesn't even make any sense to me.
It doesn't.
This was kind of a...
Not for the context of which I use it for.
This was kind of a more of a gloomy little podcast.
No, it
here,
wasn't gloomy. It was...
I just felt like, something had to be said.
Right.
The energy was going towards
We got to
that way.
have these moments.
We do.
And
thank you, Jared. Goddamn money, man.
these are real life moments.
Yeah.
I know you guys know we don't edit a lot.
Yeah, we don't edit shit. Yeah, I don't want to edit shit.
Right.
This is the real deal. You get the raw and uncut.
Yeah. Why would you want to edit anyways?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you want to add stuff in. But,
no, but you don't want to be perfect.
Right.
Yeah, you scare people won't like you because your shit's not perfect. Your video's not perfect. Yeah.
You don't talk how I talk, sir.
Yeah.
You talk different.
Yeah, some bullshit. Hey, for all you guys that edit, I love that you edit, but be real with that shit.
Yeah.
You make a mistake, oh, well, you're human.
You got to take everything out.
Yeah, everything? I don't know. We already going in on the goddamn editing. Let's get out of here, man.
Yeah, let's go. We could talk about editing next.
Yeah. We'll catch y'all on the flip.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Patreon whole thing. I'm like, we're talking about money, and here I am asking for money.
Right.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Yeah. I don't like pushing that Patreon, man.
Well,
I don't like paywall. So if we do push the Patreon, everybody's still going to see what they're going to see.
Yeah.
There'll be no paywalls.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you got to pay your bills, man.
No one's special.
Yeah. Goddamn money system.
Even if it is like 75 cents on the dollar.
Yeah.
Shit, a monkey could pay that.
A monkey could pay for a lot of shit.
Yes.